Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, and the host, of course, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I congratulate the brave organizers to have the launch today, and it has been long overdue. We have been listening a lot of these things for the last many years with a prism of subservient so-called friendship and such a friendly neighborhood that 1,400 of our boys and girls had to sacrifice by a friendly government supported by a friendly state and the neighbor. And if they're the friends, then certainly we have to define and redefine and reinvent the definition of the enemies. So I'm just a political activist. I'm not sure whether I merely fit into this esteemed audience. My understanding is very simple. Any statecraft is all about identifying enemies, making protections, make the border sovereign, and of course safeguarding our national interest. And that is something that we have never seen apart from the very few years of President Zia Rahman. That's the only time that we had a very kind of say that we are truly free, independent and sovereign in our borders, in our skies and the water. Now, apart from the defense things that has been discussed by our speakers, what I found the crisis is about all about politics. We never had a politics in this country. And without having a truly nationalist politics in a land, our defense cannot fit into the aspiration of the people, our economy, our trade, commerce, nothing can be fitted into the realm of that independent and free nation things. So what we are struggling basically to make a sense of a country, what it has been born for, what is the reason for the very essence of existence. And that has been missing elements for the last 5 decades. When I've been in student politics, been away from the country for many years, and just trying to understand that what went wrong with our politics, what the politicians have been talking about, why it doesn't make sense, particularly when we have been studying overseas. Now, looking at the Western politics, how the mature democracy works, how the free trade, how the national interest work, and looking back to our own country, nothing just makes any sense. And not making sense for anything for many years is accumulated into a bombshell basically last year, that we just want to make sense of the country. And our youths were very simple, very specific, not even knowing things, what they aspired for. But they have been saying, well, there's a lot of things which we do not like. Old political settlement, get out of it. We need a new political settlement. Now, what does that mean? And it exactly meant what has been for 1947, what has been meant in 1971, what is meant in 1904, 1905, 1911, 1921, long struggles, 1940, Lahore resolutions, and even long before, the many hundred years of our struggles of the land to become free as a nation, to become a polity. Now, looking back into our own political crisis, what we found out that we are yet becoming a state. Now, there is a lot of tribes living in the Bengal Delta now, and you can name them basically with the different larger, bigger political parties under the different dynastic names and tribes. So those many tribes live in this country without becoming a nation. And how could you form things? Now, well, we have seen a lot of differences in the Western foreign policies and domestic debates and kind of things. But when it comes to invading countries, sadly, the whole parliament was united. If it need be so, disregard any United Nations conventions. If need be so, just take the oils out, gas out, as you prefer. Now that's how the national interest works in alignment with their own domestic foreign policy interests. Now there is nothing in this country we have seen over the last 5 decades of our own politics a serious debate about our defense. What should be the defense policy? What should be our foreign policy? What are the baselines? These are the frames, and these are the baselines that we do politics within. Now, if you listen to party one and you listen to party two, you will find that perhaps which country you belong to within the country. It's absolutely a different set of version that you listen to from different political parties. And most of the top leaders of the political parties, sadly I know pretty much all of them, they don't even understand the cracks of it. What does it mean to have 1,100 rivers in your country? What is the defense consequence of it? And how did it affect in the past, and we will do that in the future? What does it mean to have a Bay of Bengal? Is it only for Cox's Bazar, just to spend a few nights over there? But how does it fit into your own statehood? And we never found out that it has a serious economic and defense consequences. And we had never such discussions. In our own education system, if you look into it, you will just memorizing few lines of 1971, few poetries, few songs. You pay tributes at different memorials. That's what it meant, really. Struggle of a nation has been summarized, narrowed down into such a pretty small lens. It doesn't give you the sense of equality. So from the political perspective, what we see, without becoming a nation, we cannot have the state. And without having that quality within our mindset, within our consciousness, we cannot protect ourselves. It's a very simple thing. We might have a British colleague, although he's not of that generation, 1957, and how we lost, how a few individuals coming all the way, 6,000-7,000 miles away, made to manage it. How could they do that? Now from their side, it's a brilliant military achievement. 300 soldiers started, but it became the empire of no sun because it never rose or set. So how did that happen? And what was our failures of the side? In our history books, what we have only read and written down is the dates, individuals, what it happened, but there was no serious critical analysis what went wrong. What was our failures? What could have been different? Why those different things didn't materialize? I'm sure my friends from the military certainly perhaps study those things, but from our own study to become a citizen, it has never been part of it. I have seen in London, like friends from high school, like knows the British history of their war, what made them proud, what the national heroes and kind of things. But from our side, we have a lot of heroes as well. They have also won war. There's a lot of battles that we won, but there's no discussion of such things, and there is no engagement of citizenship. So from the political side, what we are struggling with, day-to-day thing, that it's all connected. Becoming a nation, becoming a state, becoming a polity, safeguarding our border, our foreign and defense policy, national interest. There has to be some consensus, and we do politics within that consensus. Sadly, there is no statesman, apart from Ziaur Rahman, very briefly, that border, that bottom line has been set out. And every time a political party comes to power, exactly policy-wise, everything shifted out. So even our good friends from the armed forces say, what we can do, we are just simply messed up. We can simply manage from the political will side. Because different political parties coming to power expect us to behave differently. From the defense perspective, it cannot be different. Whatever the season is, food is necessary thing. We all become hungry, whether it's a rainy season, it's a summer or a spring. So that's what the country's border is. It always needs to be protected. It doesn't matter that who comes to power, which way, it's a military, a democratic governance or a revolution. So what we feel that the BIGS and other stakeholders, that we need to have that sense of purpose of becoming a citizen and polity into our school level, into our primary schools and high schools, and the history is not one for the historians. History is not for the university teachers and lecturers. It's about the very basic thing to become a citizen. Without becoming a citizen, a country and a state cannot be protected. It's a very simple thing. You can organize things, you can have all the machineries. We have seen massive machineries didn't win war during the Hitler's time. It was one of the best army of human history, what Hitler had built out. But because of the Western strategies, he just lost out. So not only it's just a defense things, there's a lot of political things as well. So what we are feeling, and that is our part of the job to do, that we work together and make that partnership between the civil, political and the military life into while it comes to national interests and safeguarding our borders. Thank you very much, BIGS, and listening our friends. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.